there's any characteristics of her being under the influence. She didn't pass that test, right? What we advise parents is that for them to go take them to a clinic to get tested. However, we proceed with our consequences using that test. That's a test that is, approved by the state. That's what we use. So even without the lab work from a clinical, we can place them at an alternative school as a consequence because she didn't pass the test here. So then your sister, when I had the meeting, I said, I'm going to give her a referral. I'm going to assume that she might be under the influence based on these results. However, if you take her to a clinic and you bring back the negative results in a sealed envelope, which is what the letter stated, I said we won't proceed with placement, know, and it's just like if this didn't happen and I would not submit the referral. The next day she didn't bring anything, so I was assuming pues no pasó nada. Then Friday I didn't come, and the secretary told me this morning, you're gonna have the due process to proceed with placement at Step Academy. And so then I assume, maybe either she didn't take her or they came back negative. Until right now that I talked to your sister, she said, no, I did take her and she did come out negative. I said, well, what are those results? Because otherwise I have to proceed with placement. Okay. So where's the lab work?
So I think she suspended 2 days?
Well, yes, but like I told her, is like if you bring the results, then you just come. If you're negative, you just come and we wouldn't suspend you.
Okay, because I see here that says 2 days.
And that's what I told her.
Suspension.
I said, if she comes out negative, we're gonna cancel. We're gonna avoid this. Then she wouldn't be suspended and I wouldn't submit this because this is a disciplinary referral. However, she didn't come back with the negative results, so then yes, we would proceed with placement and we would suspend her, count them as suspensions.
And
so I don't know, where are the results?
So no, I just need some questions answered first because everything's like kind of fishy. You stopped her because she...
Well, her classroom is on the opposite side of the school. She has no business being over here. And I was calling her and she wouldn't listen to me. So when I went up to her, her eyes were very red.
No, ¿por qué no la escuchaba? ¿Por qué? AirPods? Okay. Can they use AirPods on the highway?
Technically, they're not supposed to have a mount.
On the highway, is it allowed? Or?
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
Not in class, right?
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
Just asking.
And sometimes students have the AirPods and they're still like, I have my AirPods, somebody's calling me, like I listen.
Okay.
So that was something that I said, okay, what is she doing? And we've had a lot of reports in this area, in the restroom in the corner, of students either being under the influence or there's a smell, what have you. So she told me she was coming from the restroom. Her classroom is on the second floor on the opposite side of the school. So then, I just said, let me take you to the nurse. And then based on that result, I proceeded with the consequences.
And you said who conducted
the nurse.
The nurse? Are they trained to...
Yes.
They are? What kind of training do they get, do you know?
They are RNs. They're RNs, and then we go to a training, administrators as well. We go to a training where we get trained by people that train DPS. And it was like I'm not sure if I mentioned to your sister, if a cop stops a person and they seem to be under the influence, they won't do a blood test there, they won't do a urine test there. They'll go by that is the assessment, ¿verdad? That recognizes different behaviors. So that's what the nurse did. They'll look at the size of the pupil, they look at the dilation, they look at the movement. They ask her several questions, and based on those, also the size, based on that, she did.
Okay, she was telling me you conducted a test on her as well?
No, not me. It was the nurse.
No?
The nurse.
The nurse. ¿Quién te
Yeah.
dijo que te pararas en un pie ahí?
Sí, the nurse.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Although, yeah. I stepped out. I was in there when they did.
Okay, you just stopped her and then
I
you
took her, and
to the...
then I have them do whatever they need to do, and then they call me for the results, and then I proceed.
Okay. So on this paper, you are already...
Based on the nurse's information.
On the nurses, okay.
So then I gave her the other form. This is where it says that she is suspected to be under the influence.
Okay.
If they don't agree, that they can take her to a clinic to get tested, and if they want us to use those results, they need to bring the results in a sealed envelope. And the drug test that they use at the clinic has to be a panel of 10 drugs, because they have a panel for 5 drugs.
Okay.
So it has to be the one for 10 drugs. And they can bring that back, and then we'll look at those results, and then we'll see, you know what, we won't proceed, or yes, we will proceed. But based on the nurse's assessment, we can proceed with placement. And so that's why when I talked to her sister, she said, no, I took her, and we have the negative results. So I said, okay, so where are they?
Okay. So before anything, she's a minor. Anything that has to do with criminal activity.
Yeah, this is not criminal. She's not.
Oh yeah, this is criminal.
Yeah.
All this right here is criminal.
Yeah, but she's not.
It says administrative, but outside on the street, all this is criminal.
Yes, but not like here. We didn't involve UISD police. She didn't get cited. She didn't get a ticket. She's not gonna go to court.
Right, but all this is potentially criminal. I mean, you can eventually call UISD and...
Yeah, well, we can. We have PD here, but they don't get involved unless she's in possession, and if she's in possession, like, it just depends what it is.
Right, and you have it in the same category, possession and assault and all that, right?
And I'm following the student code of conduct. Like, it's not something that we'll do that we're not supposed to be doing. Even if she's 15, well, most of our students are minors. Only our seniors are adults, but we proceed with a discipline that we have approved, here at the district.
Right. My only issue is you already determined a disciplinary action without due process. There hasn't been any due process. Everything's been done based on suspicion.
We have 3 days.
Right.
Obviously, this week was Thanksgiving week.
Right,
so technically today would be the 13th, and that's where we would do the due process, which is what I have here.
Correct.
And that was why we were having the meeting today.
Correct. Due process means you have to prove she's been doing something wrong.
Based on the information, based on the information that we have.
And the main issue to me, did you contact her guardian when you started questioning her, or?
Oh, we don't have to.
You don't have to?
No.
To question her, you don't have to?
When they're here, we can do questioning, we can assess, we can call after the assessment because they're under our authority. So when they're here, we're the ones in charge of that. So we don't have to call.
But as far as criminal activity, if you start questioning her, that's an issue now.
Yeah, but it's not criminal activity. Here at the campus, at the district, it's not considered criminal activity.
So assaulting somebody would not be criminal?
That would be, yes. But she was not assaulting somebody.
No. So, okay, so but all this is, and it says mandatory, right?
We have here where, no. Well, here, yes, but where it says assault, class A, yes. That would involve UISD police.
Correct.
And this one, she didn't have anything under her possession, so I didn't advise UISD police. They don't have to be notified.
But you check they're under the influence?
Yes, because that's the charge that she's being
charged
with. or that's what she suspected. That's the charge that we have in place based on the nurse's assessment, and that's how we were going to proceed.
Okay.
So then what I told them was, if she brings the negative results, then we will proceed with this, and she can come back the next day.
Okay, okay. So in other words, she has to prove she's not, right?
Because the nurse's assessment indicated that she was exhibiting signs of being under the influence.
Okay. If a cop stops me out on the street, suspects me of doing anything, she can maybe arrest me, but they cannot convict me. You're already convicting her. You're already.
Yeah.
And
what I advised was that we're going to have the meeting today. This is the third day. We have 3 days to do due process. Now, based on the information that I have, I would proceed with placement based on this. I would gather the information that she would give me. If you have the negative results, then I will use that to make our decision, and we won't proceed with placement.
Okay.
If the results are not here, then I would have to proceed with placement.
If she doesn't prove that, she
If
come
she
on
didn't bring the
negative.
results, yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't agree, once we finish, we can. There's also a letter where you can request a hearing.
Right. No, it's not that I don't agree. I mean, the law doesn't agree with what you're doing right now. They have constitutional rights. Do you know? They
Yes.
have.
Which is why.
This is a violation of the Fifth Amendment.
Which is why we were going to do the due process, right? In the United States, you have a very important right that is due process at this time.
Correct.
You know, so that's where we're going to have this meeting right now.
Correct. The Fifth Amendment allows her not to. She doesn't have to prove anything. I don't have to prove anything. But you are already setting consequences for a suspicion.
For a suspicion, based on a suspicion, which is
with no evidence.
Yeah, which is why we were going to do due process, and the evidence that I would use would be the nurse's assessment.
All right. I mean, that's on the streets. A cop saying he didn't pass a test. That's not evidence enough. That would be thrown out immediately.
So the purpose of your meeting right now is, did you wanna? Were we gonna have due process? Were you bringing in the results? What?
That's a thing. I spoke with my attorney. He said you don't have to prove anything. You have a Fifth Amendment right. You don't have to, under a Fifth Amendment, you don't have to say a word. You don't have to prove that you're innocent. They have to prove you're guilty.
Do you want to talk to the principal?
No, I mean, whoever I want to talk, I need to speak to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, why not? But all this is being done against the Constitution, to be honest.
This is what is the procedure, standard protocol
for the district.
Yes, for the district.
Right.
I mean, it's not something that.
And maybe we need to fix this.
Yes.
If we need to take it to court,
Yeah.
we'll take it.
And you can,
to legal court.
You can go ahead and proceed with that, but I guarantee you that we are not doing something that is against the law.
It's for sure it's against the Constitution. Yes.
Because we're not pressing charges on her. That's the charge that she's
charged
being
for.
Charged with. She's not going to go to court. She's not getting a citation.
You're already setting consequences on a public system for something you suspect her of.
Which I'm advising that we're going to have due process today. We have 3 days to have due process, so we're going to have due process today.
Did you gather any more evidence?
On that date, no. Well, I was
waiting
for more evidence.
Do you have more evidence?
I was waiting for more evidence.
From who?
From your sister.
That's a thing. We don't have to give you any evidence.
So the evidence
that's
that
a Fifth Amendment we have.
The evidence that I have right now is that she didn't pass the diaper assessment.
Uh-huh.
So that is.
Do you have that assessment?
The yeah.
The steps, the nurse takes and everything. She did tell you she had pink eye 2 days prior. She went to the doctor, right?
Yes, she did mention
Okay.
that. And I did advise the nurse.
Mhm.
I asked the nurse if the medication might be something that would alter the size of your pupils, or if there was anything. She said
Mhm.
that no. So.
When was the last day the nurse received training on
This year.
this year? Okay. Is that a 1-day training? Or,
They,
you know?
it's a 3-day training.
3 day? Okay.
Yeah. We go through the training as well. Yeah, this is it's missing a page. Yeah, it's probably with the nurse that they didn't because there's a second page there. And the nurse's comments included that she had a dazed appearance, her speech was low, her eyes were watery, glossy. Redness, conjunctiva, like there was the lack of smooth pursuit, distinct and sustained nystagmus, present onset of nystagmus, present lack of convergence.
Okay. Can I get a copy of this, please?
For this one, you have to request it through the records for the district.
That's for her,
this.
right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, do you want to proceed with the due process?
What would be the
Due process? That's where. Let me go ahead.
So you're saying I need to bring you evidence and you can't give me any evidence you have for her?
For this, yes, but you have to request it through the district.
Okay.